Now she could only think how insubstantial the structure would be against the force of such a strong storm. What if Evie was trapped inside? Sweeping back a clump of soggy red hair, Megan clambered over the tree trunk and back onto the road strewn with debris. She took in the devastation ahead, collapsed buildings and overturned cars. The town had been spun and churned, pieces of everyday life left lining the street. Glass from blown-out windows, papers and furniture from businesses, pictures and books. The tornado's path was clear, like a massive mower had cut through the land, uprooting trees, slicing through lives, spewing a roof or a computer like it was nothing more than a blade of grass sliced and swept away. She picked her way past half of a splintered door. Wind whistled through the trees, bending and creaking the towering oaks, but she didn't hear the telltale train sound that preceded a tornado. Thoughts of Evie scared and waiting dumped acid on Megan's gut. Even knowing the Little Tots daycare workers were equipped to handle the crisis didn't quell her fears. Evie was her daughter, her world. She would trudge through this storm, tear her way through the wreckage, do anything to reach her 4-year-old child. The roar of the wind was calling to her, urging her forward until she could have sworn she actually heard someone speaking to her. Megan. Had she sustained a concussion from the wreck? She searched around her, pushing her shoulder-length hair from her face, and spotted a handful of people every bit as reckless as her, venturing outside for one reason or another. None of them looked her way, except for a looming man, a familiar man, charging down the steps of one of the many buildings owned by Daltry Property Management. For 3.5 years, Whit Daltry had been a major pain in the neck whenever they'd crossed paths, which she tried to make as infrequently as possible. The fates were really ganging up on her today. Whit shouted, "Megan! Megan! Come inside before you get hurt." "No!" she shouted. "I can't." His curse rode the wind as he jogged toward her. Tall and muscular, a force to be reckoned with, he plowed ahead, his Stetson impervious to the wind. Raindrops sheeted off the brim of his hat as his suit coat and tie whipped to and fro. He stopped alongside her, his brown eyes snapping with anger, warm hand clasping her arm. "I couldn't believe it when I saw you through the window. What are you doing out in this weather?" "Dancing in the rain," she snapped back, hysteria threatening to overwhelm her. "What do you think I'm doing? I'm trying to get to Evie. I had already left the shelter when the tornado hit. A tree fell on my car, so I had to walk." His jaw flexed, his eyes narrowing. "Where is your daughter?" She tugged her arm free. "She's at Little Tots daycare. I have to go to her." And what a time to remember this man was the very reason she didn't work closer to her daughter's preschool. When the shelter had decided to build a new facility shortly after she'd signed on as director 3.5 years ago, Whit had started off their acquaintance by blocking the purchase of land near his offices, which also happened to be near the daycare. The Safe Haven's board of directors had been forced to choose an alternate location. Now the shelter was located in a more industrial area farther from her daughter. Every single workday, Megan lost time with Evie because of an arbitrary decision by this man. And now, he could have cost her so much more if something had happened to Evie. Whit grasped her arms again, more firmly this time, peering at her from under the brim of his hat. "I'll get your daughter. You need to take shelter until the weather clears. There could be more tornadoes." "You don't know me very well if you think I'll even entertain that idea." She grabbed his suit coat lapels. "There's no way I'm sitting in a gas station bathroom, hugging my knees and covering my head while my Evie is out there scared. She's probably crying for me." "Look at the roads." He waved to the street full of branches and overturned vehicles. "They're blocked here, too. Only a truck or heavy-duty SUV would stand a chance of getting through." "I'll run, walk, or crawl my way there. It's not that much farther." He bit off another curse and scrubbed his strong jaw with one hand. "Fine, if I can't..."